Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the best centers in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM here on this tier list, potentially for the final time this year. I think there's a good chance it's the last center tier list I will do. And we got all the best centers in the game. Basically, everybody 7-footed up at the center position who's a high-level card. And it's going to be a pretty strict list because all these cards are good with the exception of a couple. So it's going to be a pretty tough list, but we're going to do the best we can. And we're going to start with 100 overall Shaq, who feels like, honestly, on this list, as insane as it might sound to say, he's probably like low B or high C at best. Realistically, there's a lot of amazing cards. He's only 7'1". He's got a good jumper, not great sigs, but he does at least have Garland dribble style. I'll go low B for now. He might get moved down. He really might, because like even Embiid's probably B tier. He's a GOAT card. He's definitely better than Shaq is, but he's only 7 foot. And the center position, you're just not running 7-footers at an elite level against good players at this point in the year. It's going to kill you defensively and rebounding. You're going to get mashed. You're not going to get as many paint stops, and you're going to struggle more on the interior offensively as well. So that's why a guy like Embiid is a B tier center, even though he's a GOAT card. 100 overall Wemby is probably very borderline S tier. We might have a lot of S tiers in. I think 100 overall Wemby is probably S tier, to be totally honest. We're just gonna have like 15 S tiers. I literally think this list is gonna be the most S tier cards we've had this year, but all these big guys are S tier guys. Like Wemby is an S tier big. Arvydas Sabonis is, you know what, in order to not have a giant S tier, we're going to be strict with this, which means Shaq has to go C tier. But Wemby's going to be A and Arvydas is going to be A. Neither of those guys have absolutely god tier sigs. They both have very good jumpers, great size, great stats, great badges. They're both very good cards, but they're not as good as like a GOAT Symbolar, for example, who is 7'5". He's bigger than both of them, and he's got perfect sigs and a park jumper. So at the end of the day, he is an S tier big. And there's like several Symbolar type cards on this list. Zach Edey is decent, but his jumper's not spectacular. He is big, but that is his biggest value, is that he's big. He's a little bit on the slower end at only like 85 speed. I don't hate the card, but I don't love him either. Shaq, probably another B tier, as crazy as that is to say. I know he's 7'1". That's not that big. Y'all are gonna call me insane. I think he's probably B tier, to be totally honest. Big Z is A tier to me. Another really good card who I absolutely love. 7'3", great, super fast jumper. Doesn't have enough sigs to probably be S tier, but really, really good. Wilt, just like Shaq, awesome card, probably B tier. If he was 7'2", maybe he's A tier. High B though, still very, very good. Other Shaq is gonna be low B. We have 3 Shaqs on this list. I just realized I forgot to put Opal Wemby on this list. I knew I forgot somebody Opal and below. Well, Opal Wemby, keep in mind, would probably be B tier as well. So I'll just say that. Because I forgot to put him on the list, my bad. I'm gonna put Invincible Shaq, who's really not that much worse than the GOAT version, in lower B, but still in B. I think Rick Smits is a better Zach Edey. I don't think he's as good as a Wemby, Arvydas, or Big Z yet either, though. So I think he's a solid B tier. He's with these GOAT bigs, obviously not nearly as good stat-wise or sig-wise or anything like that, but he's a ton bigger than they are, and that provides a lot of value, which is why he is also on the B tier with them. Hakeem, yet another awesome GOAT big who's a 7-footer, has probably the best jumper in the game, arguably, at least in Patty Mills, Colin Sexton, but he's 7 foot tall, and at the end of the day, you're not going to go higher than B tier if you're 7 foot. That's just how it is. Yao, another very high A who has a solid jumper and elite size with perfect stats and badges, but doesn't quite have the sigs to be S probably. Still awesome though. Patrick Ewing, I'm going to go C. I don't think he's quite as good as any of the B tier guys. I still like the card. I still think he's pretty good, but at the center position, he's a little more undersized. I'd rather run him at power forward. Artis Gilmore, if he was a little bit better jump shot wise, I'd probably have him C tier, but he's got a 70 or B tier, but he's got a 77 3 ball. I love the player build. I love the defense, but jumper's a little bit on the side, and his 3-ball rating is pretty low. That's not a great match to me. D-Rob's a little lower B than the rest of these GOAT bigs, but still has to be B tier. I'd say he's Invincible Shaq level. Wish the jumper was a little more consistent, but I do like the card. I just can't put him higher than B. Speaking of can't put higher than B, Kristaps Porzingis, same story. I think, 7'2" is nice, and that does probably put him above C, but he doesn't have anything besides a decent jumper, really, in terms of animations. But he is at least tall, 7'2", so that gives him some. Brook Lopez, solid card. Again, just like Ewing, he's just better at power forward than he is at center. I don't think he's a high tier guy at the center position. Dikembe is awesome, and I would take him pretty much up against any of these GOAT bigs, very close to it anyway. I think he's probably also a lower B guy with KP and Shaq. We have a very big B tier, but I think it's probably, hopefully, almost filled, although we have some other guys who might also be B tier options. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I have 100 Shaq in C. I'm putting KP in C too. I just changed. I don't think he's as good as the other guys in that tier, because he doesn't have any sigs and his jumper's not that great. I think he's C. I have Shaq in C. I think KP is also C. Kareem is actually going to go A. He is bigger than all of the B tier GOAT bigs, and I think guys like Wilt, Hakeem, Shaq are all high B awesome cards. I think Kareem goes low A, probably the lowest card in A, but he's a little bit bigger than the rest of the B tier guys. I think that is fair. Ivica Zubac is a 7-footer with his own jumper and SIGs. I mean, he's just not great. I think guys like Lopez and Ewing are better. I think he's our first D tier card, unfortunately. Zach Edey's another really good 7'5" invincible big, very similar to Arvidas. Jumper isn't quite as good, but he's a little bigger. Doesn't have great movement still, though. I think he's another A tier, to be totally honest. Taco Fall, just like Rick Smits, absolutely gigantic, is enough to put him B tier, but lack of speed and stats compared to some of the other guys holds him back a bit, which is why he is only B tier. Wimby, our second S tier card, 7'4" with perfect SIGs and an incredible jumper. He is broken. Awesome card. Greg Oden, another fine but not insane 100 overall, same level as like KP and Shaq. He's fine, but he's not spectacular. He's C. Yao is our third S tier. I honestly think he might even be better than his GOAT card. He's absolutely insane. Easy S tier, 7'6", perfect SIGs. He is cracked. Mark Eaton, a little bit worse than the Taco and Smits Dikembe type Dark Matters. He's still solid. I think he's a little better than Artis Gilmore. Definitely C. Very good 7'4" big, but on this list, he goes lower at this point. George Mersan's probably the best center in the game, top of S tier, 7'7", amazing jumper. He is unbelievable. Incredible card, probably the best card in the game, to be honest. Embiid, I don't like this card very much. He doesn't have SIGs and his jumper's pretty mid. He's also only 7 foot. I think he's D tier. Not a big fan of that card at all. Ralph Sampson is the only guy who's going to not go S or A tier without having SIGs. He is still going to be S tier because he, while also being 7'4", like Edey, Wimby, Arvidas, Yao, Big Z, are all pretty similar size-wise to him. His jumper's better than all of them. It is one of the best jumpers in the game. Extremely hard to contest. I know his SIGs aren't perfect, but he does at least have a little bit of movement as well. He's got Kawhi behind the back and a decent escape and stuff. And I think with the jumper he's got especially, I do think Ralph is the best of that group. I think he's a little better than all the A tier guys. So he's going to go lower S to me. Chet Holmgren, if he had a better jumper, would be higher, but he is just kind of a 7-footer who's good defensively, but his shot is incredible. He's 7'1", though, and he's got a good player build, good defensive animations. Not D, but definitely not above C either. Yao Ming, another easy S tier. I actually think his Invincible is a little better than his GOAT card. I prefer the jumper, and the SIGs are basically the same, but I think Yao is still insane as a GOAT card. He's still one of the best cards in the game. Still an easy S tier. Wilt, yet another C tier. Good card, very similar to 100 overall. Shaq, honestly, slightly better than that card, but still not above C tier for sure. Wimby is yet another S tier. Another guy with perfect SIGs, pretty much, and an awesome jumper at 7'4". He's cracked. Taco, another no-brainer S tier. Like I said, there's a lot of them. Taco's another ridiculous card. I haven't done gameplay with him yet, but I do want to. He's also one of the craziest, most elite cards in my team. Another one of those cards who's just ridiculously OP. Ewing's another easy D tier. That card's not that great. KP is better than these guys, but is he better enough to be A tier? I don't really know. Ooh, you know what? Wilt and Shaq for center are bigger. They're like Kareem. You know what? I'm moving up the A tier a little bit. I think this is fair. I think we should make the A tier a little bigger. Move a couple guys up. KP does feel like an A tier to me, though, to be honest. I think he's really, really good. At 7'2", he's pretty good size. He's got a decent SIGs, a good jump shot. Like, he's not... I think it's probably fair to move some of these guys up. I'm looking at this list. I feel like I got to move a couple up anyway. Sean Bradley, S tier as well. Another ridiculous card. Also like Yao, a little bit on the jump shot, but still an S tier big. Probably not quite as good as Mirasan, Taco, Wimby, Invincible Yao, but still awesome. And then Bull, who, despite being 7'3", just can't go higher than C tier to me. His jumper is just not very good. Who is the best card in C tier? I think it's Brook Lopez. He's 7'1", and he has pretty good SIGs. Brook Lopez, congratulations, you're going B tier. That card is very, very good. All right, we're going to call the tier list there. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.